The final match of the weekend showcases two teams who went to penalties in the Jägermeister Cup and two of the three teams still alive in the Open Cup. Union Omaha is the only team to be unbeaten in League One play, while South Georgia Tormenta have not won in back-to-back matches. It's the USL League One on ESPN+. Hello and welcome, I'm Ryan Lee, so happy to be with you today, and after yesterday's results, the table has shifted considerably. Knoxville's draw in Richmond and Charlotte's win in Central Valley have created a three-way tie for second place in points with 10. Omaha and Tormenta are deadlocked in that 5 to 6 slot, but a win for either side will boost them into a four-way tie for second in that cluster. A draw for either of these two sides will be right on the heels of those three teams with 8 points apiece for Omaha and Tormenta. Union Omaha's opening match in the Jägermeister Cup saw the most goals of the opening round matchups. Northern Colorado scored early, however, just before halftime, Misael Rodriguez took matters into his own hands with the fastest brace in Union Omaha history. It took 2 goals in 82 seconds. Northern Colorado would equalize late, however, Wallace Lapsley would come up with 3 stops on the PKs to give the Owls the 3-2 win in penalties and the extra point in the West Group. Tormenta saw a Charlotte side who were not playing around. After allowing a corner kick goal in the 8th minute to JC Obregon, South Georgia, they bent but did not break. Sebastian Vivas scored his 4th in 5 matches in the 90-plus to force a penalty shootout. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, it was equal at 4. But in round 5, Austin Pack shut the door on Tormenta to earn the Independents the extra point in the East. Speaking of key stops and key moments, our matchup features 2 of the best goalkeepers in League One. Ford Parker has been the main man for Tormenta, leading League One with 22 saves. Add on a clean sheet, Parker has been Tormenta's go-to guy in net. Rishi Nuhu on the other end poses a threat to opposing offenses, posing top marks in all categories in League One goaltending, fewest goals against, and tied for the league lead in clean sheets. Which offense will break first between these two in net? A win for Union Omaha or South Georgia Tormenta will catapult them to a tie for second in the League One table. 4 games, 2 weeks, 3 competitions. Lineups and kickoff are next, and both Dominic Casciato and Ian Cameron have a long road ahead of them.
What a challenge for the boys. What a challenge for the staff. What a challenge for organization. Play 3 of the very, very best USL organizations in 1 week and see if we can come out with a winning record. Bring it on.
My name is Blake Malone.
My name is Anderson Holt.
Wallace Lapsley.
And I play center back for Union Omaha.
And I'm a center back for Union Omaha.
Goalkeeper.
So when I first got to Union Omaha, I found out that the USL and Union Omaha have a very close relationship with Bellevue University because they provided me with an opportunity to extend my education and further my ability to seek out knowledge.
I chose Bellevue University to pursue my education because it provided a convenient way to both manage my career as a professional soccer player, but also continue to pursue my academic interests and pursuits.
Getting a degree will be just opening up a bunch of doors for me that I didn't have possible before. A college degree is still very powerful at this time, and it means a lot to show that you have the dedication to stick out a plan through college while I'm pursuing professional soccer, and I think that will show a lot.
We're back here at Werner Park in Papillion, Nebraska, where Union Omaha are the only team to be undefeated in League One play. South Georgia Tormenta have not won in 2 straight matches. They look to avoid making that 3 straight without a win. Our starting lineups are presented by Ratella's Italian Bakery in Union Omaha. They've got a lot of changes from the last time they were out in that Jägermeister Cup match. Rishi Nuhu takes a slot back in net, but the key addition for the Owls is up front, number 10, Steven Dos Santos. He's back from injury. He last played 3 weeks ago in that 1-0 win versus Knoxville, where he scored the lone goal in that match. He looks to really boost up a Union Omaha attack who has really struggled to find the back of the net against any opponent across the board. So that tandem of Gomez and Dos Santos can really provide some danger up front for Dominic Casciato's side. Coach Ian Cameron's side, they've got a handful of changes as well, largely not due to what they want to play around with, rather what they're kind of forced to deal with in terms of the injury side. Jake Dangler got dinged up against Charlotte, but the return of Aaron Lombardi on that back line, he hasn't played since the final week of March in that game versus Knoxville as well. Sebastian Vivas gets his chance to start after scoring his stoppage time goal versus Charlotte, and 4 in the last 5 matches for the 27-year-old from Argentina. Vivas, he looks to make an impact up in that front 3 for Ian Cameron's side. As we take a look at Rashid Nuhu and the Union Omaha Owls, they look to continue a dominant streak in terms of their play throughout the USL League One. They have yet to concede first in any of their matches across all competitions, except for that match last week versus Northern Colorado. It was the first time they did so, but that's its own thing, and we'll get to that in a little bit as we take a look at South Georgia Tormenta's huddle, as they have been a little bit on a back and forth in terms of results. They had a loss 2 weeks ago versus Greenville in their last game of regular season play in a 3-0 shutout, and then took that 1-1 tie versus the Independents in the opening round of the Jägermeister Cup. They look to avoid a 3-game consecutive streak of games without a win. And as we take a look at the two sides in their huddles, both these two are deadlocked in that 5 and 6 seed in the USL League One table at 7 points apiece, looking to catch up for that 3-team cluster of Spokane Velocity, 1 Knoxville, and Charlotte Independents, who are all standing at 10 points apiece. A win for either of these sides will tie that 3-team cluster and turn it into a 4-team cluster, or a tie for these two sides will bring them just 2 points behind. As we take a look at Steven Dos Santos, has not played since midway through April, has missed some time with a lower body injury. It's a muscle tweak as described by Coach Casciato, as our primary player to watch, Sebastian Vivas, stands over the ball. This is where the fun begins, as we are underway here in Werner Park. Every time a match gets played in Werner Park, the first thing that we talk about is how this pitch kind of plays into the overall grand scheme of things. And it is, after all, one of the smaller pitches in League One. And we have seen throughout the entirety of the season how you kind of have these dual-use fields, a lot of them converted into American football fields, into soccer pitches, or from football to football, but this is the only pitch in League One that's actually converted from a baseball stadium. As Tormenta wanted to reach now, Watson ahead. He's been a speedster all season, and he's on the ball now. Watson fights off a trio of defenders, comes to the near side. Watson keeps it in play. Continues to fight along. He's been so sharp now, Watson, but a service into the box. Gets headed back all the way for Rashid Nuhu. He's wearing the band today. Rashid Nuhu leads USL League One in so many goaltending categories, including goals against average, clean sheets, goals conceded. And that's an overhead kick for Aaron Lombardi, who makes his way back into the lineup for the first time in what seemed like forever. He was listed as questionable going into today, Lombardi was, but the 28-year-old from Argentina playing that left back spot has been sharp in the couple of matches that he's played. Near side it goes, Gallardo. Omaha will just cycle this around their back line. Mashak Jerome wanted to go up high for Dos Santos, but Lombardi just gonna jostle this one away from the possession of Dos Santos. And Lombardi gets dragged down, forces the whistle against Union Omaha. Steven Dos Santos getting into it a little early. only 2 minutes and 10 seconds into his return from play from his lower body injury that he suffered a couple of weeks ago in that Knoxville match. It was a 1-0 match in Knoxville on the 12th of April. That was a 1-0 win for the Owls, scored by none other than that man right there, Steven Dos Santos. He also scored one of the goals the last time these two played, which was all the way back in October 7th of 2023. That was a 4-0 win for the Owls, and Steven Dos Santos was one of the 4 who contributed that night. Ball played up by Parker, couldn't quite fall for Corey, and now a chipped up ball advancing, attempted for Dos Santos. Gomez was there too. A jostle and a turnover for Tormenta. Quick feed, ahead it goes. Fonseca from range. And that one gets sent all the way to a galaxy far, far away. First chance for South Georgia Tormenta to make things go. And they're one of those teams who, it seems like every single time we see them play, they get a lot of shot attempts off. They are top 5 in the league in that category, however, shot attempts, but they do struggle sometimes to get that shot on net. They take a lot of swings, but sometimes it might not necessarily be the big play that you might be hoping for. As Callum Stretch looks to box out his couple of guys, and it forces a goal kick for Ford Parker. And Callum Stretch has been a great addition for Ian Cameron's side since he has rejoined the lineup since coming in from international duty with the Puerto Rican national team. He was one of those guys that Coach Cameron really talked about and really praised with how much he has really put the work in, really put the effort in, how he was really frustrated in the preseason and some of those early couple of training sessions, maybe not necessarily getting the game to where he wanted to go, despite only being at 24 years old. And essentially just coming from the college ranks in his first season professionally. Callum Stretch just every single day for Tormenta has just, despite frustrations and despite not necessarily having things go his way and the game really getting to where he wants it to be, he just put his head down, went to work, and just continued to let his game speak for itself. And he's done so ever since his return from international duty. He's been a staple in that back line for South Georgia Tormenta. But Omaha strips it away for that Tormenta pass. Jerome, wide for Akoff. That gets chipped up again from Jerome. Wants Akoff, but chipped away. Lombardi sends it off. A little bit too far for either Fonseca or Vivas, so Nuhu will take a touch. Union Omaha in their old blacks with the neon yellow print. Continue to attack. Conga, he goes for it, but Fort Parker holds on to that one. Kunga took a try. They usually say do or do not. In that time, Kunga did not. Lombardi and Kilwine go back and forth with the absence of Jake Dangler, who got dinged up in that match versus Charlotte. It was a question of whether him or Nikakoto could get back in, but the feed goes in for Dos Santos. Overhead kick for Dos Santos, held off by Parker. Steven Dos Santos back in the lineup, trying to make his impact shown immediately. Already took a shot attempt, and that's the first one he's taken on net in only just shy of 7 minutes completed in this opening half a dozen plus. Tormenta look to play this one all the way back. A jostle at center pitch. Nick Makoto gets it free for Lombardi. Fonseca, Dalmeida, Callum stretch. He looks to stretch the field into the box. Takedown, header goes overhead. Vivas making the argument he should have a penalty after Jerome took a shove in the back. But on the back end anyways, Fonseca with a header. So right there, that shove is what was the argument for a PK, but regardless, Fonseca and Vivas both making their presence shown in the box. In Tormenta, that's really kind of the way they want to try to play the style of offense, is just to really get into the box and really try to force the issue as far up the pitch as possible. Every single time that Tormenta gets brought up in terms of their tactical play, whether it be from Coach Cameron or anyone else, they always talk about how well Tormenta plays in the box offensively, getting the ball into the box, or maybe just the way that they juggle and shoot from just around the perimeter. But Omaha's the one that making their way towards their box now. Dolabella. Long range shot from Nordy, stopped, and that one trickles in. Ford Parker got a touch, but couldn't get all of it. And Omaha opens up the scoring. An 8th minute goal from Norday Norti. He's got his first in 2024. And sometimes they just say, get the ball to the net and good things will happen. The bouncer seemed to have fooled Full Parker, and he got a touch but didn't quite get all of it. Nordy just leaned into that one completely, as Norday Norti, his last match was his 50th match to start. He makes his 51st start, and the 29-year-old gets his first goal of the season. All goals presented by the Nebraska Lottery. And Norday Norti feels like he might have won it with that opening goal. Turnover again, Dolabella, can he make it two? Service into the box, headed out from Kilwine. And Dolabella, a little bit of a vibe check with the fans in the outfield. And we have the first corner kick of the match coming up in just past the 10-minute mark. All corner kicks are brought to you by Modelo. A 1-0 match in Omaha. They have a chance to make it two. Long service, juggle up and out. 2 in a row for Omaha. And 2 in a row for Modelo. They might be enjoying a couple, only a minute in. They might not even be close to finish with their first after that opening goal. See that crowd in the box just within 3 meters of Fort Parker on that goal line. This can make things very easy for Marco Melanese. Service in, punched out by Parker. Another chance goes for Kunga, bangs the bar and out. Another chance for Dolabella, deflected, they score again. Dolabella. May the force be with you. He's got Omaha's second. And it took 12 minutes to get 2 on the board for the Owls. The force is strong with this one. The bar and out, but the rebound was taking the shot from Gallardo. Quick deflection from Dolabella to roof it over the head of Parker. And Pedro Dolabella just continues to make his impact known no matter where he's gone. That's his 6th goal in his League One career, his first of 2024. And Dolabella and Nordi, that's 4 goals. That's 2 goals, 4 minutes apart. Dolabella, I'm sure, also felt like he must have won the lottery there, as all goals are brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery. Quick slip from Lombardi, and Almeida looks to turn things around. Stretch. In that first 5 minutes, it looked like Tormenta maybe had the opportunities brought to them, but Omaha hold a 2-0 lead after 2 goals in 4 minutes. Long-range shot goes right into the belly of Nuhu. Jackson Corey winds up. Just a quick shot there from Jackson Corey, finds its way right into the belly of Rashid Nuhu. And this is what I mean for South Georgia Tormenta. They've been getting their opportunities, they've been getting their chances, but sometimes just meet in a unstoppable force and immovable object. And Rashid Nuhu has been exactly that. Dominic Casciato has not just credited his 2 goalkeepers, as we saw the stat sheet in the open for Rashid Nuhu, but even slapping in Wallace Lapsley in that Jägermeister Cup match versus Northern Colorado, held on despite 2 goals against. One of them kind of a sloppy one too. It's essentially a giveaway and an easily poke home for the Hailstorm. But Akoto is getting draped all over Akoff, and it provides a Omaha throw. Dolabella scored the 2nd goal for Omaha in the 12th minute. Gallardo turned over the other way. Tormenta want to advance, but a little bit too far off the line, as it's going to be rolled out for a throw. Quick poke up ahead. Omaha want to try to extend it to make it 3 before it gets played out by Stretch. Dolabella again. Kunga. Kunga a stop and go. He gallops along. Can't quite continue onward. As a whistle goes against Omaha, Tormenta will take over. Connor Doyle, he spent 3 years with South Georgia Tormenta, and he had the most matches played throughout his 3-year stretch between 2021 and 2023. 2 goals and 16 assists for the current Tormenta captain. That was 3rd within that span. Won a Players' Shield last season with the Owls and won a League One title back in 2021. He comes over for Tormenta, and he wears the captain's armband for the Ibises, who look to carry on. Akoto, he gets pickpocketed, but not for long, as it goes for Dalmeida. Callum Stretch. Looking for Watson, but unable to quite win the foot race, but keeps it just barely in play. Watson, service in. Unable to find anyone, as no one was available. Quick poke up ahead before it gets stripped by Akoff and back. Milanese. all the way up ahead. Tormenta want to make something go, but a nice blocked by Dolabella. Omaha in regular season play, they have yet to concede first. The only time they have is in last week's match versus Northern Colorado. And they kept that train rolling. Their last match was a 0-0 draw versus the Charlotte Independents. And they've scored first in their other 2 matches. Both of them ending up in the win column. 1-0 versus Knoxville, 2-1 versus Central Valley. And that's catapulted the Owls to a 2-1 start in 2024. But Jackson Corey gallops ahead, leaves it for Vivas. Fonseca from distance, but Nuhu able to snag. Pedro Fonseca, he's been so strong in the couple of matches that he's played. He's been called upon numerous times. He was a Team of the Week honorable mention for the opening round of the Jägermeister Cup. But Nikakoto, he carries ahead. Leaves it, Fonseca. Preston Kilwine and Callum Stretch look for an opportunity, as does Jackson Corey. Elevates this one up ahead. And for Rashid Nuhu, it's a trap. The inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup continues Saturday, May 11th. That's a week from today, by the way, with the second round of games in group play starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. Watch all Jägermeister Cup games streaming exclusively on ESPN+. Almeida lofts this one up ahead, disrupted along the way by that back line for Omaha, who has been so strong in terms of just getting opportunities and snuffing them as quickly as possible. And that's just kind of been the motto for Dominic Casciato and his side. It's just that vision that he empowers his players to embody, was just to dominate on both sides of the ball for as much as possible. Just press and stay organized and defend well, especially in the box. That's where teams like South Georgia Tormenta can spell the most danger. Stretch, a little too far, goal kick, Omaha. A little bit too much contact from Dos Santos, as we're in the 22nd minute of a 2-0 match where Union Omaha has a 2-0 lead. South Georgia plays this one up ahead. Not enough juice on that for now Watson. So it gets cleared up. Dos Santos. But taken away by Stretch for Lombardi. Lombardi wants to go deep. Poked up by Malone. And out of play for a Tormenta throw. From the outside perspective, you might take a look at that 2-goal lead and might not see much, but an overhead ball goes a little bit too much as it just goes over the head of Rashid Nuhu. But it looks like it took a deflection along the way off of an owl, so it provides a corner kick. The first one for Connor Doyle. Doyle on the service. Up ahead, headed down, no available options there. Aaron Lombardi walks away with it. Long range shot, deflection, just comes right to Nuhu. Lombardi just a retreat in the long range shot from Tavio D'Almeida. That definitely took a deflection in front as that low driving ball eventually elevated up. D'Almeida looking for his first goal in his League One career as he pokes this ball up ahead once again. Vivas, Corey. Retreats back for Lombardi. Omaha takes one back again. Conga goes for a long drive for Dos Santos. Dos Santos is looking for Gomez, but he holds. Dos Santos chips it up ahead, sent into the box. But it appears they took a touch out of play. Dolabella potentially wanting to get a brace. He's got a goal and assist so far. And this is the third corner kick opportunity for Los Bujos. And the first time that we will see Omaha get their corner kick off of this last segment after a couple threatening opportunities for Tormenta. Third corner kick of the match. Third time to see Modelo. But the second time we see Marco Milanese take the corner. He's been taking those far side corners, and it looks like Joe Gallardo's been taking them on the near side. Marco Milanese. He was team of the week of week 7, which was the last matchup of regular season play, making his contributions felt in that scoreless draw versus Charlotte as he takes the service on the corner. 26 minutes. Milanese up and just glances off of a head up in front, but a little bit too high for the Omaha local native, Blake Malone. Milanese had a nice service, and Malone able to get a clip on it, it appears, but a local product wanting to score in his hometown, but just unable to get that one home. You might see this 2-goal deficit for Tormenta and maybe not necessarily see a lot to be taken away from it, but Omaha takes away this one, wanting to find Gomez, poked away by the ex-Omaha player Connor Doyle. Tormenta has been down in numerous occasions, including that Jägermeister Cup match last week versus Charlotte. They eventually fought back with an equalizer in the 90+3. And they were even down in that US Open Cup match versus Miami FC as well. And they eventually clawed their way back into that Open Cup match to take a 4-2 win versus the USL side from South Florida. So with South Georgia Tormenta, they can potentially take an early deficit, but they do have a tendency to come back. So if you want to count Tormenta out, they most certainly find your lack of faith disturbing. As that one gets sent overhead, out of play, throw in Omaha. gallops ahead, pestered by Lombardi. And eventually, that gets a knock on Aaron Lombardi. The head official comes over and provides Aaron Lombardi with the first booking of the match. It's just that one-on-one between Kunga and Lombardi. Kind of go toe-to-toe, a couple pokes at the feet before eventually it turns into the first yellow card of the match from Aaron Lombardi. Awaiting the set piece well outside the box. Joe Gallardo stands over it. '29th minute set piece off of a yellow card from Aaron Lombardi just about a minute and a half ago. Elevated, headed down, that one comes out of play. Still in contention. A turnover. Dolabella kept it alive, but Kunga argues that it's a Omaha ball and he'll win the argument. Marco Milanese. Dolabella sends this one high. Lombardi heads that one away. And a transition gets disrupted by Norte Norti. Aaron Gomez gets that one stripped away by Agoto. Almeida, stretch, sends that one before it gets taken down by Vivas. Vivas, that one banks off of a Owl player and they'll take back possession. Milanese and Vivas scrap for it. Or eventually goes in the way of the Owls. Four matches, 3 weeks, 2 competitions for both Union Omaha and South Georgia Tormenta. Tormenta, they had that League One Cup match versus Charlotte on Saturday. Omaha played their first match of the Jägermeister Cup on Wednesday. Today's game is a regular season matchup. And then both of these teams on Wednesday, on the 8th, they'll be playing in the US Open Cup, where Omaha will be the only League One team to host an opponent. They'll be taking on Atlanta United of the MLS side, while South Georgia Tormenta, they're in their first game of a 3-game road stretch where they will head to Charleston to take on the Battery of the USL Championship side. And then they head to Greenville for another League One Cup match. And as we saw in the opener from that Ian Cameron press conference, it's 3 of the top teams throughout all of USL. How it just speaks to how great of an organization each of those squads are, in that these couple of matches, they're a great measuring stick in terms of where his team is. That's largely assembled with a lot of first-year pros, a lot of guys coming straight from the NCAA ranks. And it kind of gives them a litmus test to see where they are in comparison. Set piece just outside of the box in the 32nd minute can provide this 2-goal lead to go down to 1. Shot gets blocked along the way. And it looked like it might have gone off a Tormenta player as Rashid Nuhu takes over. No, it was blocked actually, so Connor Doyle will take the corner. Tormenta started things off on a hot streak, third in the League One in goals, but they've only scored one goal in the past 2 matches. Doyle, low service, takes a quick touch, out of play. Will rewrite and take 2 for corner number 3. Doyle, and Nuhu gets the grab up top. Rashid Nuhu has been so strong. That service looked like it might have been going for that back post for Sebastian Vivas, which is exactly where he's been so threatening. Vivas has by getting those corner kick opportunities, primarily in the back post. He did it versus Lexington to increase that lead to 3. He did it versus Charlotte to tie that match in stoppage time in the 90 plus. Could not quite execute there as we are halfway through the 34th minute. Fonseca. Makoto. Makoto primarily used as a defender, but this time he goes up in the midfield with the shortage of players that Ian Cameron has due to injury. Now Watson takes it over on the near side. Watson, double teamed. Out for an Omaha throw. Quick header up. Tormenta continues to chug along, but a stop as a Tormenta player is down. As he was getting double teamed by Melanesa and Malone. Vivas just takes a little bit of a bump from Malone. Just outside of the box. We saw a setup very similar to this in the Jägermeister Cup opening round. It was not a team, it was not either of these two teams, however. It was actually in that Lexington-Madison match. It was the last game of the round 1 opening weekend. It was set up just like this, where Lexington took the 1-0 lead in the 90 plus. Can Doyle potentially get the opening goal for Tormenta off the service here? Set piece, 36th. Upward, down the header. Up the shot from Dolabella. Fonseca wants to keep it alive before it gets driven away by Gallardo. Now Watson couldn't quite get the direction on that one, but comes right Fonseca. Fonseca from range takes a bounce and out. All indications go towards a Tormenta corner. And if you had to look at the play versus the scoreline, it's very deceiving in terms of how things have gone. 7 shot attempts apiece. Doyle lines up, sends it high. Fonseca winds up. Second chance just gets poked away by the Owls. Dalmeida wants to send it again. Headed up and just over the touchline. An Omaha player down with that couple series of set pieces. We've got about 8 minutes to halftime. Stoppage time still yet to be a factor in this. Union Omaha, if they have to make a substitution before halftime, it could potentially make things a little difficult, as they are the only team who are currently unbeaten in all competitions throughout League One. Going into the week, they were tied with Charlotte for the most matches straight unbeaten across all competitions with 7. However, Charlotte broke that tie with their win in Central Valley, so they have 8 unbeaten. Omaha have 7 unbeaten. 4-0-3 in that stretch, 2 PK wins. That was in the Open Cup versus Rhode Island, as well as against Northern Colorado in the Jägermeister Cup. And that match versus Northern Colorado was also the first match in 2024 where the Owls have allowed more than 2 goals. But Norte Norti makes his way to the bench. And the question is if he returns or if he's going to get replaced. Doyle with a header up. Akoto drives it ahead, too far for Vivas. Nordi comes off of his injury and returns back to the play, but leaves it for Gallardo. And that foot race gets won. It's Dion Akoff. 5 minutes plus stoppage in the first half. 2-0 lead for Union Omaha. Sends that one to deep right center before that one gets poked out of play by the head of Callum Stretch. One-on-one, Gomez gets nicked out off of the swing from Jackson Corey. Select is the official matchball supplier of the USL Championship in many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select is the player's choice. Parker making his selection, and that one is to go deep. Five minutes to the end of the half. Stoppage time. Not included in that 5-minute equation, but it's going to be taken away by Lagos Kunga. Malone. Back for Nuhu. Gallardo inadvertently gets clipped off of his hand, so it provides a whistle the other way. Lombardi. Up ahead, Akoto goes for goal, but he is a little bit off range. Shot like a stormtrooper. But with 4 minutes in change left to go in the first half, in a 2-goal deficit, sometimes you send the ball to the net, you never know what happens. That happened in both occasions for Union Omaha. It was Norte Norti back in the 8th minute, just sent that one from deep, a bounce right around the 6-yard line. Went up on Ford Parker, he couldn't claim it clean, and gets behind him, hits the back of the net. And then it's Pedro Dolabella. The shot from Gallardo from way out on the corner kick, and it just got deflected off of Dolabella and beat Parker for number 2. back in minute 12. Dos Santos. Near side, Gallardo. Gallardo buys himself some real estate. Far side, Akoff. Tormenta takes it back the other way. Watson, he's getting tangled up before he gets stripped by Kunga. Kunga leaves it for Gallardo. And Watson gives a bump to Nordy. And a little bit too much tussling back and forth. And the whistle goes Omaha's way. Long drive, blocked up in front. Loose ball, who's got it? It's the Owls. Akoff. Sends up ahead. Aaron Gomez. There's an argument for who gets the throw in. And it will go in favor of the Ibises. 2-3-1 to start things off in 2024. That one just gets banked off of an Omaha player, so Jackson Corey reclaims for Tormenta. Nice little move there into the box. Watson with the head down, but just a little bit too wide. Jackson Corey has done such a good job distributing. He led the team last year in assists, wanted to get another one for now Watson. Jackson Corey, the 21-year-old from Australia, wanted to make something work. As it comes for Gomez. Straddled down by Stretch. And the throw-in goes Omaha's way. They've got the throw. We're in the final minute of regulation. Stoppage yet to be determined. Seven shots on goal, 4 of them have gone Omaha's way. 3 shots on target for Tormenta. And on the 5th corner, they could potentially try to get another shot on target on Rashid Nuhu before the half. 4 minutes of stoppage. This is the first. Doyle, inward, headed down, goes off of a man. Saved off the line by Gomez, but out of play for a throw. So Gomez right on the end line just takes a swing at it to save it from the end line to avoid a 6th corner for Tormenta. Or rather, this one's actually ruled. It did fully cross the line before Gomez took a swing. Sebastian Vivas off of the corner. That's his bread and butter. Tormenta just looked at Omaha and said, don't get cocky, kid. We're back in this. The 47th minute header from Sebastian Vivas. That's 5 goals in the last 6 matches for the 27-year-old from Argentina. Sometimes set pieces are the most dangerous thing in soccer, and when it's all said and done, that is the way. Whistle goes against Union Omaha. Things might be slowly turning the tide for Ian Cameron's side. And sometimes, like he said after the match versus Charlotte, it's okay to get a result, because sometimes that's all you can manage when it's all said and done. He's not upset necessarily with the draw, as they did manage to claw their way back into it after taking that 1-goal deficit so early in that match against the Independents. And at the end of the day, this is two squads who are really good at both attacking and defending set pieces. It just so happened that both sides have striked once. A swing for Dos Santos and a foot race for Akoff. Akoff against Akoto. Akoff could not quite get another touch on it, as it just goes out of play for a Ford Parker goal kick. And Dos Santos, if you're Dominic Casciaro, this is not a sight you want to see. You just got him back from injury. This is his first appearance since getting dinged up from injury. This is Dos Santos' first appearance. Oof. And you can see how that plant leg kind of twisted a little bit as he was trying to go for the swing. And the facial expression of Steven Dos Santos just does not look pretty right now. 34 years old, in his second season with Union Omaha. Despite missing a couple of matches, he actually leads the Owls in total goal contributions for last year's second team All League One. He was doing so well throughout the season that he had to that point. Got his first goal in the second game of the season. Looked like he was en route to his fourth double-digit goal season. And after getting back from injury, which was described as a lower body injury by Dominic Casciaro. Just one more look at this one. You can see how that plant foot kind of takes a twist as he goes for the swing. And when you're coming back from a lower body muscle injury, the last thing you want is to kind of have something kind of going an awkward twisting and turning motion. As we're in the 4th minute of the 4 allotted for stoppage. And there's a chance that this injury for Dos Santos could extend things as Coach Casciaro contemplates his next move. That's not a good sign for the Owls, how Dos Santos is literally putting 0 weight on that left leg, using the 2-man crutch to only put weight on the right. Connor Doyle checking up on his former teammates. They played together last year with Union Omaha. We talked about Connor Doyle and his time with the Owls, and there was a little bit of overlap there. As it looks like we have the appearance, the first time in the USL League One regular season from Zico Lewis. Will be making his League One regular season debut for Union Omaha. In the 45+6 of substitutions for Union Omaha are brought to you by Herdat Sports Bar and Grill. Ball comes for Akoff. Just drives it along, but Kunga keeps this one in play. Stoppage time extended due to the injury. Kunga wants to serve it in for Gomez. Gomez turns around and gets that one back. Akoff into the box before Ford Parker holds on. We talked about the introduction of Zico Lewis into the lineup after he made his Omaha debut last week versus Northern Colorado in the League One Cup. They were actually waiting on his visa to get approved, but he's been a top player in the USLC. He spent a bunch of time last 2 seasons with the Sacramento Republic and the Charleston Battery the 2 years prior to that. And He's been so good in the USL Championship side of things. 44 total goal contributions and 142 matches played in the USL Championship, a first-round draft pick of the New York Red Bulls. He was a staple for that Republic side and for that Battery team. But now he makes his way to League One, where his side is up by 1. Long-range shot gets blocked. The Akoto swing was disrupted by an obstacle along the way. Stoppage time says 4, but we're going longer because of that Dos Santos injury. As a whistle goes, as Kunga and Akoto get a little jostling back and forth along the Omaha half of the pitch. Connor Doyle sits on first in the 45 plus 8, now 9. Doyle served it in, gets the head on the touch by Callum Stretch, but it's well out of the reach of Nuhu, and that will do it for the first half between Union Omaha and South Georgia Tormenta. The Owls took a 2-goal lead in only a dozen minutes. However, Sebastian Vivas would get one back in stoppage time of the first half to cut Omaha's lead to 1. And you can see one of the main storylines is Steven Dos Santos. That is not a pretty sight if you are Union Omaha. Steven Dos Santos getting sent off on a cart. But at the end of the day, the game goes how the game goes. You can only play with the bench that you have, as both sides, nothing but warm wishes for Steven Dos Santos. An eventful first half in Werner Park. The force is strong with both of these sides as they have found the back of the net a combined 3 times. 2 of those for Omaha, 1 for South Georgia Tormenta. Halftime from around League One coming up.
My name is Blake Malone, and I'm a center back for Union Omaha. The partnership between Bellevue University and Union Omaha enables me to continue my career as a professional soccer player, as well as extending my time and learning to get another degree, and for that I am very thankful. I would say reach out. Bellevue University has been very, very kind and generous to us. They're very responsive, they have great people working up front. So I would say go, give it a reach, look out, and see if it works for you.
To be a part of Nebraska medicine
Hi, welcome.
Good to see you.
is to be a part of something extraordinary.
Nebraska Medicine, how may I help you?
Because these are the doors
How are you?
that open doors
That went really well.
to growth
Hey.
and opportunity for each other and for our community. For those who know that the academic experience,
You know what? I agree.
the life experience that you get here is beyond what you can get anywhere
Doing
else.
great.
And that's exactly why here is where you belong. Nebraska medicine, together extraordinary.
Another week's time. Impressive for Sporting Kansas City tonight. Well deserved. Moving on into one of those semifinal matches.
Bronick against Pascal. A deep breath from the 17-year-old. Mark Bronick sends Omaha to the round of 32. The Open Cup magic is alive in Nebraska again.
Let's go! Go to the next, baby.
Back here at Werner Park in Omaha, Nebraska, where the Owls currently have a 2-1 lead on the visiting South Georgia Tormenta, as there is not only great action here, but all throughout League One, as this is the second day of matches throughout League One as the Richmond Kickers and one Knoxville squared off last night. Stuart Ritchie starting things off as he just had a beautiful service into the box, and Cinco de Mayo maybe tomorrow, but Tequila served early. He got his goal within the first 20 minutes of play. It was 1-0 at the half. But with all leads, if you don't close them, there's always an opportunity to come back, and that's what happened with the Richmond Kickers. A service in, Adrian Billhart. He knocks in his 4th of 2024 in stoppage time. He continues to lead Richmond in goals. Knoxville had a tie for second place in the standings only until later on in that evening. While the Central Valley Fuego did get a PK goal in the 10th minute from Robert Coronado, it was Juan Carlos Obregon. He not only struck first for the Independents, but after a drive and a penalty drawn, Obregon strikes back to back goals for the Independents. He's got his 3rd of the regular season. That ties him with Leo Castro of Greenville for 3rd place in the league. Luis Alvarez was not in the 3rd to get the full 3 points and create the 3-way draw in 2nd place. As we take a look at our scores and schedule throughout League One, we talked about that 1-1 draw between Richmond and Knoxville. Knoxville had that head-to-head tie with Spokane, 2nd in the league in points with 10. Only for a short while, though, Charlotte Independence's win would create a 3-way tie between Spokane, Knoxville, and Charlotte. And then currently going on, Forward Madison and Greenville Triumph. So the Greenville Triumph are unable to get the full slate of 3 points. Madison continued to stay undefeated in the regular season. And last but not least, Wednesday, Forward Madison takes on One Knoxville. That's an opportunity for Knoxville to come in 1st place. Join me and our entire crew on Wednesday at 5:30 Central. Our team of the week from week 7. So this is not the Jägermeister Cup. This is the last week of the regular season schedule. We see Marco Melanese. He was a part of that team of the week. He got 5 interceptions in their game versus Charlotte Independence. Spokane has really been on a roll. The velocity flying high as they had 4 players in that team of the week starting 11, as well as their head coach, Lee Wiedman, with Lai McKinnon taking over as player of the week. Well, that's a lot from around League One, but we have a lot coming up throughout the half and a lot of action in the 2nd half of play coming up after this.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Distance, oh, what an effort, and it's special. Machoma fires, oh! Goal!
Looks great. Oh.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
back here in Papillion, Nebraska at Warner Park. Union Omaha have a 2-1 lead on South Georgia Tormenta. And these two sides have been playing so well, but not to mention, they're both in the Open Cup. They're both still alive as we take a look at some of the matches upcoming in this week's round of the US Open Cup.
Mertz again trying to play in Deekwa. Deekwa's in behind. Deekwa's open the scoring.
Chest it down. Oh, that is spectacular. It's a cup set for Union Omaha.
Kasim cutting inside. And there it is. Cup set magic in the air tonight. Saved by Viniello. Rodrigo Lopez. It's improbable. It's indomitable. It's another cup set.
Let's take a look at that aforementioned US Open Cup schedule. This is the Tuesday slate, and there's a lot of matches that can really provide a lot of implications. But one match that I think can potentially have an opportunity for that aforementioned cup set. Take a look at that 8 o'clock match, Detroit City FC versus Houston Dynamo. Houston in the MLS standings, they've been a little bit iffy to say the least. They're 4-2 in 10 matches played, which is currently underneath the playoff line in the MLS side of things in the Western Conference. While Detroit City FC, they are rolling in the Eastern Division, the USLC. 5-1-1 in 7 matches played. Detroit City could potentially use that momentum and carry forward. In the Wednesday slate, however, there's a lot of games going on, and the one matchup that I think really can produce an upset, same deal, different story. USL Championship taking on MLS, 10:30 p.m. Louisville FC versus Seattle Sounders FC. The Seattle Sounders have only 2 wins in 10 matches in MLS play, while Louisville City FC, they have been dominating the entire way through in the USL Championship side. They're second in the Eastern Conference in 7 matches played for Louisville. Undefeated, 6-0-1, and some of those wins have been commanding. You have a team that's only won 2 of 10 versus a team that has yet to lose in 7. That is the cup set watch in the US Open Cup. Well, we've highlighted the US Open Cup schedule, and we will be looking at some of the highlights of the first 45 coming up, as we also highlight some of the players of the month in League One.
We are Myrtle and Cypress Coffee House. We're located in the heart of Gifford Park neighborhood in Midtown, Omaha. The idea behind the coffee shop came out of the neighborhood's expressed desire for a place for people to gather. From being rooted in our neighborhood, to choosing ingredients and processes that nourish, to supporting coffee growers and their communities, Myrtle and Cypress connects you to Union Omaha's beautiful motto, one means all.
My name is Blake Malone.
My name is Anderson Holt.
Wallace Lapsley.
And I play center back for Union Omaha.
And I'm a center back for Union Omaha.
Goalkeeper.
So when I first got to Union Omaha, I found out that the USL and Union Omaha have a very close relationship with Bellevue University, because they provided me with an opportunity to extend my education and further my ability to seek out knowledge.
I chose Bellevue University to pursue my education because it provided a convenient way to both manage my career as a professional soccer player, but also continue to pursue my academic interests and pursuits.
Getting a degree will be just opening up a bunch of doors for me that I didn't have possible before. A college degree is still very powerful at this time, and it means a lot to show that you have the dedication to stick out a plan through college while I'm pursuing professional soccer, and I think that will show a lot.
Due to injury, here come Richmond again. Takes it on his own, and Adrian Billhart fires the Richmond Kickers into the lead.
Into the middle for Vignoles, who surges further forward. Vignoles spearing it forward. Billhart 2-2. There's an instant response from the home side. They made the double change.
Now knocks it on to McKinnon, who's onside this time. McKinnon to the edge of the box. Onto his right foot. With the strike line, McKinnon, this time he's onside. 2-0 Greenville, his 4th of the season. Looking for a second of the night. Will he beat Parker? Yes, he will. That's 2 for Lion McKinnon and 3 for Greenville.
Mensah now, one-on-one. Whoa, Papa Mensah! A brace for the main man as they go back out by 2.
Delgado comes out, doesn't get there. Squared into the middle and stabbed goalward, and there it is! Big Papa strikes again for Chattanooga. Will Papa Mensah.
Liam McKinnon. It's saved by Pack. It was up too high from Liam McKinnon. Austin Pack was able to punch it off.
Gallardo sends this one in, headed, rebound! Off the line! Austin Pack is there! And cleared by Charlotte! We just highlighted some of the players of the month. Let's highlight some of the top moments in the opening 45. Steven Dos Santos takes the starting lineup, took an overhead swing, but it was chance after chance. That was an overhead header from Pedro Fonseca. The shove down by Sebastian Vivas could argue a PK, but sometimes they just say get the ball to the net and good things happen. Norte Norte with his first of the season and his 4th in USL League One. Gets that one driven across. The bouncer was enough to beat Ford Parker, as he also gets his first goal not only in 2024 but for the Omaha Owls. Long drive from Jackson Corey, got stopped by Rashid Nuhu, who was strong. And the set piece is always dangerous. First shot from Conga goes off of the bar, and then it was that second shot from Joe Gallardo, which was deflected by Pedro Dolabella. Parker elected not to go for the snag. He elected for the punch out, and it created second chance, third chance. Eventually Dolabella got his assist and then adds on a goal as well. If you take a look at the halftime stats, you might look at this and say Tormenta should be ideally leading this match, but it's kind of that thing I talked about in the very early portions of the match. They take a lot of shots, but sometimes they're not necessarily high danger opportunities if you just go by the ratio of shot attempts versus shots on target. Union Omaha, a lot of high danger opportunities. Of the 8 shots they've taken, 4 of them have gone on target. Or Tormenta, 4 goals on target as well, but that's off of 13 attempts. That 6-3 swing in corners can potentially affect things in the long run. But the thing that can really affect things in the long run is Zico Lewis getting subbed on at the 45+6 for an injured Steven Dos Santos just coming off of injury. And with South Georgia Tormenta, they are down by a goal. They do want to claw back into this match, the same way they did it versus Charlotte. And they've been really strong at doing that. Even in the Open Cup versus Miami FC, they had to claw back from a 2-1 deficit. As Zico Lewis stands over it, and we are underway for half number 2. Sent into the box already as that one gets clipped all the way out. Ryan Lee and our entire ESPN Plus broadcast crew at Warner Park in Omaha, Nebraska. It's been a very calm day throughout the entirety of this match. It's in the mid-50s, no wind or precipitation to speak of, so pretty much ideal conditions for a football match. As we had a 8th-minute goal from Norte Norte and a 12th-minute goal from Pedro Dolabella. That was in the 12th minute, and then Sebastian Vivas off a corner kick in the 45+2. Omaha with the lead and possession. Long range shot comes right for Gomez as he gets tumbled down by Lombardi. No whistle, and the whistle actually goes against Omaha as Lombardi he's done that in the matches that he has played in this 2024 season. He's been a very physical back, and that's one of the things that he really excels at in that back four for Union Omaha, is getting up against defenders, really pressing and really trying to make their jobs difficult by giving them as little space as possible. And sometimes when it comes to circumstances well out of your control, like the health of some of your players, it can really affect some of the consistency that Tormenta has really been looking for, especially with a roster that has a lot of first-year pros within it. But sometimes when things are out of your control like that, whether it be giving up a goal early, or at least in today's case, 2 within a dozen minutes, and injuries like to arguably your top back and Jake Dangler and Lombardi having to take some time off, can really hurt things in the long run. But at the end of the day, that's just how things work, and the question is, how do you respond to those situations? Even Ian Cameron doesn't necessarily have those answers, but they look to respond back. Into the box it goes. Akoff touched away by Kilwine, and a swing up and a pop up for Callum Stretch. Conga getting dragged down by Dalmeida, and Dalmeida takes a foul. Tavio Dalmeida, he took some opportunities in the first half. He took a little bit of a tussle there versus Conga. As a free kick comes for Union Omaha. Well outside of the 18 box. There are 4 guys standing over it right now, but who's going to be the one to take it? Who will fan out? Gallardo is there, Zico Lewis is there, Nordy is there. Rashak Jerome as well. Looks like it's the guy who's been taking essentially every set piece, Joe Gallardo. In his second season with Omaha, Gallardo lines up. Gallardo goes for goal, hits the wall ahead, rebound gets blocked again. Clipped up into the air. Akoff has to hold it down. Akoff strides along, service in, headed in, bobbled away, no one can quite get there. Owls want a handball and won't be given. Still waiting the official verdict, but Akoff just sending this one into the box, and Gallardo trying to elevate for the header. Dolabella arguing for a handball, and this is going to be the 4th corner for Union Omaha. All corner kicks for the home side are brought to you by Modelo. Some Jägermeister last week, a Modelo corner. Gallardo up in the air, taken up and out by Vivas. He's dangerous on that back post when his side is on the corner kick, but he had to defend on the back post. Modelo once again for the 5th corner, taken by number 5, Melanese. 4 shots on goal apiece. Can another one be provided to potentially increase Omaha's 1-goal lead? Some scrapping into the box, having it talked to by our head official, Alexander Zelkazov. Melanese corner in the 51st. Punched out by Parker, but the ball's still alive. Fonseca gets it up, and Lewis plays it all the way back. Owl still with it. Kilwine elevates and gets it out. Stretch along the end line, and that will come right to Fort Parker. You might look at the way that this game has played out, and you might not necessarily see. You might look at the score line, or maybe the way things have gone in terms of the overall trajectory of this match, and just say that maybe potentially you might have counted Tormenta out a little bit early because of some of the happenings and just how much Omaha's been able to generate on the offensive half of the pitch, despite having the second lowest goal total in USL League One. But in situations like this, you kind of just have to stick with your game and know what's going on. Sometimes when you might try to get a little too much, you might try to overreact or overcompensate. Sometimes it's good to just go back to basics and just trust the structure that's been built in matches, in training. And sometimes comebacks are built on hope, as it has been for Ian Cameron the last couple of matches for Tormenta. But they're defending as Kunga has it the near side. Nordi, Dolabella. Melanese with it. And easily touched up by Lombardi. Kunga can't quite settle. Swinging and a miss. Comes for Aaron Gomez. But it got blocked up in front and should provide an Omaha corner. Kunga able to keep this ball alive right at the 18, but a quick strike from Aaron Gomez. That's the third corner kick of the half for Union Omaha. It's the sixth time that Omaha has had a corner in the match, and the sixth time that we can talk about Modelo. I'm sure after Wednesday's match in the Jägermeister Cup, they might have had a nice cold one. But can they repeat that success in a 2-1 match? Headed out by Tormenta, but Kunga still has possession. This one is stripped away by Fonseca. He's in a foot race, and he gets yanked down by Kunga. And this should undoubtedly provide the yellow card. That's almost a backhanded compliment. You help the guy out to give him a yellow card to his face. But considering the foul that Kunga took, Fonseca has been so dangerous for South Georgia Tormenta. He scored a goal already in the season. And if he had a free run, it would have provided Tormenta an opportunity to potentially claw the way back. Into the box. Vivas settles it down. Fonseca. Stretch, looking for an option. Fonseca. Tormenta cycle it around. This defensive structure for Omaha is so deep, but Callum Stretch has on the outside. Stretch gets disrupted, and that was off of the end line. Callum Stretch getting integrated into the play, and this provides the visiting side with a corner kick. 7th of the match, 1st of the half. A chance for Tormenta to tie off of the corner in the 56th. Low drive, headed away by Lewis, captained by Dalmeida. Finds Doyle. Doyle, low drive, blocked again, but it will be a whistle against Tormenta. So Omaha will take over. Dolabella. He's had such an excellent match so far, golden assist. Can't watch the Max Turn On Series XMFC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XMFC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Ball comes out of play along the near side as Omaha continue to encroach on the Tormenta half of the pitch. Doyle with the block on the Dolabella pass. No one quite able to get clear possession, so it's Callum Stretch. It's essentially one of the toughest stretches for South Georgia Tormenta in their season, but they look to carry up ahead. Torrey squaring off with Melanese. Melanese wins the duel. And we've been talking about kind of what can be that spark to essentially fire off just a run, or what can be that one instance, that one moment, that one little speck to tip the scales a certain direction. Watson takes the yellow. Is that one just some quick passing back and forth from Union Omaha, intended for Norte Norte, but now Watson. He's got his first yellow card of his League One career. He's got the team lead in goals, and Norte Norte is now slow to get up. He scored a goal in the 8th minute of the match. And he is a little bit slow to get up. In his first season with Union Omaha, spent the last 2 seasons with the Northern Colorado Hailstorm. But started off his career with 5 years over in his native country of England in both the National League and the Championship level. Essentially 2nd and 3rd division of English soccer below the Premier League. But after that initial scare, after the Dos Santos injury, where we saw at halftime, where Dos Santos had to get taken off on a cart, Norte Norte, a huge sigh of relief for the fans of Los Bujos. Back on his own 2 feet. Out wide. Centering in the box, deflected up, second chance goes. Can they keep it alive? Off the line and out of the line. Dolabella was looking to keep it alive, potentially either set somebody up or take a swing at his brace. As we just get past the hour mark. Omaha with it once again. Lewis charges ahead, and the ball comes out of play. Lewis and everyone wearing black and yellow in Papillion, Nebraska, arguing that should be a penalty. However, it comes up with a verdict as a goal kick. Lombardi powers this one up ahead. Fonseca takes a spill. It was Vivas, actually. Fonseca's on the ball. Akoto. Vivas back on his own 2 feet. Goes out quick for Akoto. Akoto sends it into the box. Not enough for Watson. But it comes for the far side and a throw-in for South Georgia. In the 2024 regular season, Tormenta have gone behind 4 times. The only result was a draw, at least in regular season play, That one was against Forward Madison, but if you include non-League One play, as it comes up, the flag is up for Aaron Gomez. The pitch was up for Aaron Gomez. He looked to be one-on-one with Ford Parker, but the assistant referee had the flag up before an opportunity, as Kunga had beaten Kilwine. And if this was a track and field race, that would have been won by Gomez. But false starts nullify everything. A strip from Gallardo, as he just sends that one as far as he can. Tormenta chips in, headed on by Watson, but that one is out of the park for a goal kick. And looks like we have the first substitution coming up for South Georgia Tormenta. Niall Watson, his night is over, so we'll get an opportunity to see Ajmir Spangler. I want to wipe off that Watson yellow card, give the 23-year-olds Ajmir Spangler an opportunity. This is the first match of Spangler's 2024 where he has not started. Headed on, Lombardi has to be wise with the head to let the one go out of play, as that appeared to be Lagos Kunga coming up on the near side for a potential touch on net. Modelo brings us here for the 7th time for the 7th corner kick for Union Omaha. Gallardo on the 7th corner, sent in, headed up and over. That was Dolabella on the receiving end. He wanted number 2. This is a much better showing from South Georgia Tormenta compared to the last time these two teams played off. That was a 4-0 win to Omaha back in October. And last year, Omaha was 3-0 against Tormenta, but Tormenta looked to draw level as they win the throw deep in the attacking end. Tormenta maintains possession. It just comes all the way back to the center circle. Lombardi. He likes to go back to Parker. And that send from Ford Parker just goes slightly awry. Akoff streaking along the near side, but Akoto just kicks this one overhead. It comes out of play off of the clip from Akoto, so Akoff will get the throw in. Seiko Lewis. Akoff. Watched by Akoto, gets the poke out and another throw in for Union Omaha. A combined 27 shot attempts between these two sides. However, only 8 have gone on target, 4 apiece. Possession is 50-50. But the score is off by 1 in favor of the home side, who let that ball fly out of play. '68th minute goal kick for South Georgia Tormenta. Union Omaha, the only team in League One to be undefeated in League One play. However, they are one of 2 teams to be undefeated in the regular season, the other one being Ford Madison. They got a win against first place Greenville Triumph earlier in the afternoon off a 90+2 game-winning goal from Juan Galindres. So if Omaha can walk away out of the L column, they'll be one of 2 teams in regular season play without a loss as a foul goes. And it looks like it might have been for that scrap near midfield. And it will be. Melanese gets booked off of the contact. As it's just that scrap near midfield, as we've been seeing these type of opportunities for Union Omaha. We'll get more to that in a little bit. Vivas sends it around, chipped up ahead for Corey, wants Spangler, but a tumble goes for Malone. Callum Stretch unable to save it, so it goes out for a goal kick. Marco Melanese just took that last yellow card. We also saw Kungo with a yellow card earlier in the 54th minute, about 14 or so minutes ago. And with Union Omaha, despite having the fewest yellow cards in the league with 7, which is tied for the league lowest in Charlotte, they do so wisely as that service is sent in, deflected on, and just barely trickles its way in. Ford Parker didn't go for it, and it goes into the back of the net. Joe Gallardo has an assist. He's got a goal. It's 3-1 Omaha. Sometimes there's no such thing as luck. The touch from Gallardo, Ford Parker got a little caught up and couldn't get the touch on it and just barely deflects off the post and in. And sometimes you send it in the direction of the net and good things happen. That's the 3rd goal for Union Omaha. All goals for the Owls are brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery. Gallardo with an assist. He's now got a goal. That's his first in 2024 and his 6th goal in a Union Omaha kit. 20 minutes plus stoppage. As Tormenta want to race ahead and try to climb back into this game as much as possible. Ajmer Spangler escapes Lewis. And Gallardo with the touch and comes out of play for the throw. Spangler. And that one gets swallowed up by Rashid Nuhu. Rashid Nuhu, he's been so strong. He's played 6 matches in his career against Union Omaha. He's had 4 goals allowed in 9 matches played against Union Omaha. 7-0-2 whenever he starts against the Ibises. And with the way things are, if Omaha can maintain this lead, this can go up to 8-0-2 for Rashid Nuhu against Tormenta. And can boost Union Omaha potentially to 3-0-1 in the regular season. Nordy gets dragged down at center, and referee has the yellow card off his pocket already. That goes to Nick Akoto. '73rd minute, and Akoto, he just got a little bit of a outreached arm. All yellow cards on Tormenta, brought to you by Herdat Sports Bar and Grill. Probably having a ball of a time right now, watching Omaha take a 3-1 lead on South Georgia Tormenta in the 73rd minute. We're taking a look at our officiating crew. Alexander Zelyaskov as our main referee, AJ Franklin, Braxton William is the assistants, and Asad Omanovich is the fourth official, keeping track of stoppage. And our head official, Zelyaskov, trying to potentially get Nordy to get a taken look at. Could be this, maybe it was nagging him earlier, or maybe the potential for a head injury perhaps, but looks like the training staff may want to go on the lower body part of things, as two of Tormenta's players stand on the center line. And that will have to take a back seat for a little bit as Milanese puts it in play. Gallardo scored the 3-1 goal in the 70th. Milanese escapes a man and sends this one in. Parker has to hang on to that one. Kill line for Parker. He was doing so well in the early parts of regular season, but has struggled in recent form. Only stopped 1 of 4 shots versus Greenville and allowed 3 in a couple weeks ago. He was 2 for 3 last week versus Charlotte Independence, however, but today, 2 stops on 5 shots attempt. Spangler wanted to feed that one in, but it got blocked away by Meshach Jerome. And now an opportunity here for South Georgia Tormenta as Gabriel Rodriguez and Mason Tunbridge, they say hello there to this match. Connor Doyle exit in favor of Mason Tunbridge. And it looks like we might have a yellow card for Rodriguez. A little bit of time wasting, perhaps. A little slow to get on that. Sent in Rodriguez. Rodriguez trying to elude Jerome, but that one was sent in before it gets blocked by Akoff and out. Tunbridge sends that one in. No one able to get the deflection. Up in the sky, punched out by Nuhu. Chance for Fonseca, off the bar and out. Swing and a miss for a stretch, and Nuhu, he hangs on, and he is been so solid for Union Omaha. Tunbridge off the corner with the substitution for Doyle, and just a first shot from Nuhu, a second shot for Fonseca goes off the bar, and the third chance for stretch pops up in the air. Rashid Nuhu has done so well. Stopped all 4 shots. He got a Team of the Week honorable mention last week in that Charlotte match. Did not play in the Jägermeister Cup midweek game versus Northern Colorado on Wednesday, so he's got a full week of rest compared to a lot of these guys. But it's Tunbridge. Sent in, touched up, Tunbridge, denied by Newhu! A golden glove in a golden moment. Rashid Newhu denies Mason Tunbridge for a chance to get within one. And Mason Tunbridge escapes his man, got the flick on for Newhu, and he turns the corner in. Akoto return for Tunbridge. Just goes low and slow, but no one there. The last time that Union Omaha have scored 3 goals in a match was back on September of 2023 against the Chattanooga Red Wolves. They had 3 goals in the regular season going into today, and they've scored 3 today on Ford Parker, while Tormenta have only broken through Rashid Newhu only once. Fonseca. Akoto can't quite get the weave on, so Jackson Corey lets that one fly out of play, but Callum Stretch tried to save it, and all he did was, in essence, poke that one out of play. Corey tight ropes the end line, but couldn't quite maintain. So it's the Owls the other way, and a pull down on Tormenta provides a whistle for Omaha. Another pair of changes come for the home side. It's going to be Masael Rodriguez and Brandon Knapp coming into the match. Kunga takes a strut towards the bench. Kunga has been so dangerous all match. He's really gotten his opportunities. But in his place goes Masael Rodriguez, who scored that brace against the Northern Colorado Hailstorm. Brandon Knapp enters the match as well, 24 years old from St. John's University, where he was a 4-year captain there, playing in his 4th League One regular season match. Takes the spot of Aaron Gomez. Now an opportunity for Omaha. They're in the box, and they score! Masael Rodriguez! 3 goals in the last 2 games. Puts the lead to 4-1 Omaha. Off the bench and on the board, Masael Rodriguez with 10 minutes to go. The fastest brace in Union Omaha history for Masael Rodriguez. Picks the top corner to get his 3rd in 2 matches. It took him 82 seconds to score that brace versus Northern Colorado. I don't even think he's been on the pitch for 82 seconds and he gets on the board. Nebraska Lottery brings you all of the goals for Union Omaha. And that is Masael Rodriguez's first goal in the USL League One regular season after getting those 2 goals in cup competition. And another pair of subs upcoming for South Georgia. Maybe not yet, as the official looks to get those substitutions off. It is Daniel Steeman and Joshua Ramos at the center line, but Akoto gets it while it's still in play. It's Fonseca. Corey wanted the feed, but Knapp has it instead. Corey getting eyed by Gallardo. 8 minutes left to go plus stoppage. A 3-goal lead for the home side. They have not only tied, but they have now exceeded their goal tally of the season, have Union Omaha. They had 3 coming into today. They now have 4 on the day. But a streaking comes for Corey. Corey gets taken down, and Rodriguez gets dragged down by Malone. And the whistle comes, and this will provide a PK for Tormenta. Rodriguez was streaking along that near side, and Rodriguez was one-on-one. Malone drove the shoulder down, and sometimes it is just young player mistakes. The 23-year-old didn't get a card, but did get a foul inside of the box, so Pedro Fonseca to step up to the plate. He scored a penalty kick goal versus Lexington just a couple weeks ago. He also scored in the penalty shootout versus Charlotte. Second year with Tormenta on a 2-year deal. He looks to make his contributions known. One goal on the season off of the PK. His second attempt of the regular season to cut the lead to 2. Fonseca drills it, and this game is a 4-2 match off of the foot of Pedro Fonseca on the PK. Fonseca, he's just been that guy on the PKs. He's got his second goal of the season. They both come on the penalty dot. The ex-Louisville Cardinal from Brazil. 5 minutes left to go plus stoppage. Does Tormenta potentially have life within them? Lewis tries to get the return pass, but it comes all the way back for Fort Parker. So Joshua Ramos and Daniel Steedman both enter the match. Nick Akoto and Tavio Dalmeida, they exit. That was right at the whistle for the PKs, and a corner kick for South Georgia Tormenta. Mason Tunbridge takes it down. Headed up, and just over the crossbar it goes. Imagine if that one somehow just barely found the gap between Nuhu's hand and the crossbar. We would be talking about a much different end to this match. Lewis with a streak, goes off of Lewis, but Ramos is there first. And the whistle goes against South Georgia Tormenta. Fonseca takes the foul. Jerome stands over it. Just lets that one go wide for Zico Lewis. Lewis touched out by Tunbridge. 4 minutes plus stoppage. Omaha want to keep this ball alive and potentially increase the lead back to 3. Spangler lost at his feet, taken out by Dolabella. And Nordy, he can't quite maintain, so it gets taken away by Spangler. Tunbridge from range. Nuhu had to be great on that one. Ramos keeps it in play. Tunbridge spins and fires off of a leg. That's Nordy, up and out of play. Rashid Nuhu knows exactly what it takes in clutch situations. He was the starting goaltender for Union Omaha in their multiple accolades in recent seasons, whether it be their 2021 title run or their Players' Shield last year, or even their finals run in 2022. He's been backstopping that net for the last 5 seasons for Union Omaha. He's been the first and only starting netminder for the Owls. As Werner Park has only seen 3 matches in all of 2024 competition play, all of them draws, but a wide angle shot from Gallardo goes wide. Fifth corner of the half. You can see the 8th corner kick for Omaha, the 8th time we mentioned Modelo, as that one gets sent in. No one able to claim possession. Stretch plays it out, and Steedman has to accelerate. Kilwine bumps this one up ahead. Disrupted from Malone. An opportunity back for Rodriguez. Drops it off. Knapp. Rodriguez from range. Might have taken a touch, but it's out of range. Foul against Rodriguez, came off of the bench. He has a goal and he has a yellow card now. Rodriguez on the yellow right at the 90th minute. And that one was just a slide tackle right at the legs of Aaron Lombardi. A half a dozen on the stoppage clock. 6 goals, 6 minutes of extra time. 2-goal advantage for Union Omaha. Kept on, Tormenta shoots, and that one goes off of an Omaha player and will go for a corner. This is the 10th for Tormenta. (13 of the 18 goals in all competitions for Tormenta have come in out of the first 15 of the last 15. High elevation. Lombardi couldn't get the touch on it. Stretch keeps it alive before it comes out. And another couple of subs upcoming for Union Omaha, it appears. Anderson Holt will make his way in, and Luke Mastrantonio will also enter. So this is the final 2 subs in the final window for Dom Casciato. And it looks like Joe Gallardo is going to be one of the 2 coming out. Anderson Holt, the 19-year-old, comes out. Joe Gallardo will exit. Gallardo, he scored that third goal in the 70th minute on the assist from Dion Akoff. Foul dragged down from Ramos, and Tunbridge takes over. Tunbridge, low serve. Tunbridge recovers. We're in minute 3 of 6 on stoppage. Headed down, nothing available, and just a scoop up and out from Machak Jerome. Corey looks to outrace Knapp. And that one just falls right in the general direction of Rashid Nuhu, and he holds on. Both of these two sides will take matches in the US Open Cup in the midweek. Tormenta will go to Charleston to take on the Battery, who are currently leading in the entire USL Championship table, at least in the Eastern Conference. While Sporting Kansas City has to come to Nebraska to play Union Omaha. And then for both these sides, it's back to Jägermeister Cup play on the 11th. Greenville gets a visit from Tormenta, and Spokane will host Omaha. The USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Ramos just a little bit too far, and Omaha might be in zero rush. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Ramos plays that one. That's a loose ball swung at by Malone. Lewis wants to keep this one in, and a shot goes out of the reach of Parker, but out of frame anyways. Dola Bella was looking for 2, but could not get it in the 96th of 6. Tormenta carry on, wide angle Lombardi centering up in front, but no one was available. Spangler chases after it, but a nice way to elude the defender were the Owls. And in regular season play, only 3 teams have 3 or more unbeaten. Omaha is one of them. The other 2 are Charlotte and Madison, but with results going more recently, they could be one of 3 teams with 4 straight unbeaten in regular season play. Rodriguez from range, he's just off. Imagine if that was Messiah Rodriguez's second. He was the player of the week of round 1 of the Jägermeister Cup. And goals like this show why he's so dangerous. And the danger has shown why it's there. Union Omaha, 4 goals on Tormenta's 2, and they stay undefeated. One of 3 teams in League One with 4+ games unbeaten. They join Charlotte and Madison in that elusive club. They are one of 2 teams with 7 straight unbeaten in all competitions. That is solely between Union Omaha and the Charlotte Independents. And they host Sporting Kansas City in almost undoubtedly the best form in USL League One. The only team unbeaten across all competitions amongst League One teams. In South Georgia Tormenta, they dropped their third straight. And as we take a look on the pitch, our man of the match, brought to you by Platinum Chiropractic and Wellness, is that man right there, Pedro Dolabella. He's got a goal and an assist, and he is just getting started as we take a look at more from this match and around League One coming up after this.
My name is Blake Malone, and I'm a center back for Union Omaha. The partnership between Bellevue University and Union Omaha enables me to continue my career as a professional soccer player, as well as extending my time and learning to get another degree, and for that I'm very thankful. I would say reach out. Bellevue University has been very, very kind and generous to us. They're very responsive, they have great people working up front, so I would say go, give it a reach, look out, and see if it works for you.
Another week's time. Impressive for Sporting Kansas City tonight. Well deserved. Moving on into one of those semifinal matches.
Bronick against Pascal. A deep breath from the 17-year-old. Mark Bronick sends Omaha to the round of 32. The Open Cup magic is alive in Nebraska again.
Let's go! Go to the next, baby.
We take a look at Pedro Dolabella, who was undoubtedly the player of the match. He has been so electric since the initial kickoff, and he will start things off in our full-time highlights as he got an assist and a goal within a dozen minutes. But before we get there, let's take a look at some of the other chances from around the initial 90 minutes of play between these two. And Dolabella sends that one all the way back for Nordy, and that long-range shot. The bouncer was just able to beat Ford Parker, just barely. And you know what they say, get the ball to the net, good things happen. And the fans in the outfield, they celebrate early. That was only the 8th minute for Nordy in his first goal of the season. Put off the corner kick, the first shot from Kunga goes off of the bar, the rebound gets taken by Gallardo, and the deflection by Dolabella to beat Ford Parker gets Omaha on the board, 2-0. And Force was strong with this one. He got 2 goal contributions, and this one was just one of those things where it's just sometimes it's better to get lucky than to be skilled. But a great little deflection touch off of Gallardo. That's an assist prior. He didn't get his goal. That put the game at 3-1. There was Sebastian Vivas corner kick goal as well right at halftime, but Messiah Rodriguez off the bench and on the board. He got a brace versus Northern Colorado in the Jägermeister Cup and follows up with a goal coming right off the bench just mere minutes after he got on the pitch. But South Georgia Tormenta, they had no quit in them as Gabriel Rodriguez pursued the box. And when you do that, you draw a foul. Pedro Fonseca with the bury, and Nihu just couldn't quite get there. And that is where we end things at 4-2 in Union Omaha. They have the lead and the win, 4-2. The fans in Nebraska celebrating so hard, especially with the recent events, with some of the extreme weather circumstances with the tornadoes in the Nebraska region. And for Union Omaha, you can really make the case and the argument. This was not just a game for the team. This was a win for the community. It was a win for the state of Nebraska, and they did exactly what their job was. Well, that will be it for us in Warner Park in Omaha, Nebraska. The force was strong with these ones. Union Omaha with the 4-2 win against South Georgia Tormenta. For all of us and our entire ESPN Plus crew, my name is Ryan Lee. Thanks for joining us, and have a great rest of your night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.